Marriage is a fucking diabolical leverage game in the United States. I'm just being honest. Devoid of religious significance or the idea of love, marriage is nothing but an awful contract that you shouldn't sign. Because you start out loving each other, and then like 2 years later, you're just building a case against one another for a hypothetical court date that may or may not ever happen.
You know, I think one of the most amazing things is a couple that sticks together through the test of time. When a woman is with you before the fortune, fame, there's a certain loyalty that she'll have toward you, and a loyalty that you'll reciprocate to her because she was there before you became who you are. And the second best thing to that is a woman who just doesn't even know who you are when she meets you, and she finds out over time who you are. That's an amazing thing as well. But at a certain level of fame and popularity, it's impossible for a woman to not know who you are. And Snoop Dogg is one of those examples. Internationally, Snoop Dogg may be one of the, if not the, most recognizable name in all of entertainment. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the guy's just a likable, fun guy. You know, he got into some things when he was younger, as we all do. But one thing he has had, no matter what he's done, he's consistently had family. He's with the same woman he was with before he became Snoop Dogg. And though they've had their ups and downs, they're still standing strong. From having their first child together to now having their first grandchild together. The guy gives back a lot to his community, especially with his Little League football team, Little League Football League, rather. And several other things that he does for his community, man. And he's churned out some NFL stars from that league, man, which is, you know, just a phenomenal way to make sure that those young kids who have that talent have the proper guidance to funnel their way into a professional career. But he has also publicly done some things that might be considered embarrassing to his wife, but she stuck with him. But back in April, she posted something. And he's been on his best behavior since then, making sure that he gives her props, and he's posting pictures with her all the time now. She says something that I find very interesting, but true for the most part. She said they never cheat with prettier, they cheat with easier. And that is something that women have had a problem with over the years. I can't believe this is the woman you cheated with. Well, here's what women have to understand. And despite what Bill Bellamy may say, Bill Bellamy believes that if you cheat with a woman who looks better than your woman. That's not how it goes. Because the only way you're going to be able to cheat with a woman who looks better than your woman is if you tell that woman you don't have a woman. And I'm going to be honest with you, one of the worst things you can do, if you cheat with a woman and that woman tells your woman when she finds out, because she will find out, that she didn't even know about your woman, that she didn't even know you had a woman. She didn't even know you had a wife. She didn't even know you was in a relationship. She thought you were single. That's what you told her. You got another apartment somewhere that she came to and lived at, and she just come stay in that condo and she thought you was a single man. Nothing embarrasses a woman more than for you to absolutely deny her to some little side chick, some little scallywag. But if you're honest about having a woman who's absolutely beautiful is not going to be your side chick, because there are too many men trying to have her as their main chick. So women have to understand, if a man has especially a known relationship, Snoop can't meet a woman that don't know he ain't married. So no, you're not going to cheat with a prettier woman. Cheating is not about prettier. It's about a man's desire to have more than one woman. And once you've legally married a woman, you can't suddenly say, hey, now I think I should have another woman. No, you got to initiate the situation with that. But when you're young, like Snoop was, and she was the best thing that he had going, then he probably didn't feel that way, even though he was young. And he probably been, as a young man, bro, honestly, it's very hard as a young man to even see yourself just being with one woman. You're at a point where you just can't control your libido like that. And it's not even about can't. 50% you can't control it. The other 50% you don't want to control it. You get a little money and fame, man, you get a different access. You get access to a different level of women. You get access to a different quality of women. You get access to a different level of secrecy. Where a woman at a certain level, she ain't gonna put you on blast. Now we live in a different era. We live in this IG model era where a woman gonna put you on blast. And even Snoop himself has been put on blast just recently. You remember back Soulja Boy got put on blast. Remember that? Guys always get put on blast. Why? Because guys are trying to cheat with the beautiful women. The IG models. Man, the IG models are fame seekers. So I say to women, you got to understand that, no, you don't be upset if a man cheats with a woman who's not as pretty as you. You should be upset if he cheats with a woman who is prettier than you. Because at that point, your ass probably finna be replaced. And when a man cheats, a man is not gonna go out seeking a woman to replace his wife. Snoop don't want to replace Shante, man. She been with him too long. You know what I'm saying? Listen, she knows where all the skeletons are, and she knows where all the bodies are buried. She knows everything. And not just that, he can trust who she is. You can't trust anyone what they'll do, but he can trust who she is. He knows who she is. And as a man, the only way you know who a woman is, you got to catch her young like he caught her. They were really young. And that's the only way, bro. You got to know who this woman is as she develops into a woman. You can't marry a woman or have a woman in your wife position, man, and she already done lived her life and she 30, 40 years old. Man, that woman done lived too much. There's too much shit about her you don't know. And you just can't afford to take that chance with a woman you don't know that much about, because what you don't know will show. And it's going to be to the point where you done locked her into a marriage and you can't just let her go. It don't make sense, man. Marriage is a young woman's game. It's an older man's game, but it's a young woman's game. And that's just the way it is. Like, you got to know as a man that there's a woman that you got in your life, man, who is above the others because you know who she is. She's authentically who she is. You know this because you helped mold her. You shaped her into who you want her to be. Snoop will never leave Shante, man. He shaped her into who he wants her to be. He shaped her perspective of him. She'll never leave him either. She's going to stay there. She's going to be there. Their kids are grown now. She ain't got no reason to be there and stay. She gonna stay because there ain't nobody better than Snoop Dogg to her. He is her star. She is his groupie. And I'm telling you, if your woman ain't your groupie, then I don't know what you're doing. And by that, I mean, if she ever been somebody else's groupie, she not your groupie. And I'm just telling you, man, y'all get out here and y'all jump off into these relationships, man, with these women, man, and y'all don't even know what y'all doing. Y'all just go out there and do it. And this woman got ties and soul ties and everything else to a bunch of other men. Bruh, that's why you have to understand that a woman with a high body count is not fit to be anything other than someone who keeps running up a body count. That's it. That's all she can do. That's the path that she has chosen. Let's not act like a woman doesn't choose to go that path. She chooses that. A woman chooses to be with all of these different men. A woman chooses to allow her libido to lead her. A woman chooses to allow herself to just be used as a side chick or something to lay down with. A woman chooses that life. The same way a woman chooses to be an OnlyFans model. The same way a woman chooses to be a stripper. The same way a woman chooses to be a working girl. The same way a woman chooses to be an escort. The same way a woman chooses to get an education. The same way a woman chooses to be a booster. The same way a woman chooses to be a hustler. The same way a woman chooses to be a lazy woman who does nothing. All of these are choices. And there are consequences to all of those choices. And as a man, you don't allow yourself to be the reason that a woman doesn't suffer consequences, because there's going to be consequences for her decision. Either she's going to suffer the consequences by being single, or you're going to suffer the consequences by making her your woman. So yes, 9 times out of 10, you're going to cheat with a woman that's uglier. And that don't mean she ugly. That just means she don't look as good as your wife, as good as your woman, as good as your girl, as good as your main lady. It's still easier to just be with an average chick. It's still easier to be with an average chick because the average chick appreciates the experience. And so a lot of times when you're with a woman for an extended period of time, like Snoop has been with Shante, her IG handle is Boss Lady ENT. She takes for granted that the life she has is because of Snoop. She takes for granted that if Snoop didn't pop off like this, they probably wouldn't even end up being together, because she would have had to do what she had to do to be with a man who could provide and protect if Snoop would have got jammed up in that case he caught back in the day. then they would have been over, they would have been done. So sometimes a woman in your life, man, the woman in your life, she takes it for granted that the life she lived, all the things she enjoys, the fact that she ain't got to go work and do none of that shit right there unless she wants to, she takes for granted. She takes for granted that you're the reason for that. You're the sole reason that her life is what it is. You understand? And so sometimes it feels good to have a woman just appreciate the experience of being with you. A woman who just appreciates the fact that here she is. We ain't even got to go nowhere. She just appreciate the fact that she is in this luxurious hotel suite with you, or in this, this secluded Airbnb with you, and y'all just hanging. Y'all just chilling out. She don't care about going nowhere. She don't care if y'all Uber Eats. She don't care about none of that. She just glad to be in the presence of you. And as men, we need that sometimes because we have a lot of fucking responsibility. There's a lot of things we got to be responsible for. There's a lot of people who are relying on us. There are people who are relying on us that shouldn't be relying on us. There's a heavy load that a man carries when he becomes the breadwinner, not just for his immediate family, but for generationally, he becomes the breadwinner. Everybody around is plugged into him because he's the key to the bread. Even if it's not about just getting money out of your pocket, if it's about using your connection, if it's about getting that hookup, if it's about getting you to invest, if it's about getting you to mention the business, if it's about getting you to promote their business, there's always something. And so sometimes, man, all those people, they don't appreciate shit. They feel like it's their right. And so sometimes, man, the best thing for you to do as a man, you have your little chick that just appreciate the fact, man, that she able to spend some time with you. You understand? That little chick, man, who don't mind, man, sending you whatever sexy pictures you want. You understand? She don't mind that. She okay with that because she understands that means she's still connected. That little chick who don't mind, she just, the next time you want to see her, man, she ready. She don't care. She just want to spend time with you. You know why? Because she's your groupie. That's why I don't understand why guys out here chasing women. Boy, you don't know the experience of having a great experience with a woman if she's not your groupie. And sometimes that's what happened with me. Sometimes that's what happened with you. Sometimes that's what happened with Snoop. So Shante is right. Men don't ever cheat up. We never cheat up because up is a threat to you. We never cheat up. Physically, we don't care about a woman's physicality as much as long as we're aroused by her. And let's say this, if your wife has a butter face, but she got a phenomenal body, you'll probably go be with a woman with a beautiful face that doesn't have as great a body as your woman. If your woman has a beautiful face, but she's skinny, or maybe, she just let her body go, she just got older, then you'll have a woman with you who you'll have a side chick or a woman that you kick it with who doesn't have the most beautiful face, but she got a phenomenal body. It's pretty enough. She probably average. So she'll have an average face, but she'll have a phenomenal body. Or she'll have an average body and she'll have a phenomenal face. That's just how it is. So it's no knock. That's just a woman trying to make herself feel better because she prides herself on her prettiness. And I will say this, Shante has always been pretty. She's pretty now. Not just for her age, she's just a pretty woman. Like, her face is pretty. She's a pretty woman in the face. But sometimes a man needs more than that. A man just needs appreciation. A woman who's just thrilled with his presence. And he ain't always got to do some shit. He ain't always got to fund the lifestyle. We need that sometimes. And all Shante is saying is that she's trying to, figure out in her mind how to justify not being concerned about it. And this is her way. And if more women did this, we have less divorce and less bullshit in these relationships where a woman want to try to leave a man that's footing the bill for a whole lifestyle because he got another woman. Man, I wish a woman would. Peace.